Listen closely, because this is not just a story from the old days. This is what the elders still whisper when the moon is full and the river runs high. They say there are waters that answer prayers, but never without taking something back. In a small fishing village near the Osun River, back when the mangroves were thicker and the nights darker, lived a woman named Adaku and her husband, Chijioke. They had been married for 12 years, and the gods had not blessed them with a child. Every full moon, Adaku would go to the riverbank alone, kneel in the mud, and beg the water spirits for mercy. "Give me a son," she would cry. "I will give anything." One night, the river answered. She heard at first a voice like silk sliding over stones. Not in her ears, but inside her chest. "What will you give, daughter of the land?" Adaku froze. The water before her shimmered, though there was no wind. Then she saw her, rising slowly from the depths. A woman more beautiful than any mortal, skin like polished ebony under moonlight. Long hair flowing like river weeds, eyes glowing soft green. Round her neck coiled a serpent, its head resting between her breasts. She was half woman, half fishtail, glistening with scales. Mami Wata herself, or one of her daughters. "I will give my devotion." Adaku whispered, "My life, if you ask." The spirit smiled, teeth sharp as river shells. "Not your life, a promise. If I give you a child, he will be mine first. When the time comes, he returns to the water. No questions, no tears." Adaku's heart pounded, but the ache in her womb was louder. She nodded. The spirit extended a hand. In it appeared a small, shining shell, iridescent, like a pearl from the deep. "Swallow this. Plant it in your belly. 9 moons from now, the child will come." Adaku took the shell. It was cold, alive, pulsing. She swallowed. The taste was salt and something ancient. 9 moons passed like a dream. The village marveled when Adaku's belly grew. Chijioke danced in the streets, thanking the ancestors. No one knew the truth. The boy was born at midnight during a storm. They named him Dife, a child of the river. He was perfect, skin like burnished copper, eyes the color of deep water, hair already long and wavy. But from the first cry, something was wrong. His skin felt cool, like he'd been pulled from the river. When he nursed, the milk sometimes tasted of salt. As Dife grew, the strangeness deepened. He never cried like other babies. Instead, he hummed low, melodic tunes no one recognized. At night, he'd stare at the river from his cradle, tiny hands reaching. Once, Adaku found him gone from the hut. She ran to the bank and saw him crawling into the shallows, laughing as the current pulled at him. She snatched him back, heart racing. His little body was ice cold, but he smiled up at her with those glowing eyes. The village whispered, "Water child," they said. "A bench from the deep." Some mothers hid their own children when Dife played near the water. Fish gathered around him when he waded in swarms so thick the men could scoop them barehanded. The family grew rich from the catches, but Adaku remembered the promise. Dife was 5 when the signs worsened. He stopped eating land food, only fish, raw and fresh from the river. His skin began to shimmer in sunlight, faint scales appearing on his arms like a rash that never itched. At night, Adaku heard him whispering to the water conversations in a language she didn't understand. One full moon, the river rose higher than ever. The voice returned, this time to Chijioke in his sleep. "The dead is due. Bring him to the deep pool at dawn." Chijioke woke sweating. He told Adaku. She wept, begging to run with the boy. But Dife heard. He stood in the doorway, eyes shining. "Mama, it's time to go home. They are calling me." Dawn came. The family walked to the forbidden pool, a deep, still circle in the river where no fish swam and no birds called. Dife walked ahead, unafraid. At the edge, He turned and hugged Adaku one last time. His skin was cold as river stones. "Thank you for carrying me," he said softly. "I was never truly yours." Then he stepped into the water. It parted like silk. Mami Wata rose beautiful. Terrible arms open. Dive walked straight to her. The serpent around her neck uncoiled and wrapped gently around the boy like a cradle. They sank together, the water closing over them without a ripple. Adaku screamed. Chijioke fell to his knees. From that day, the river gave no more fish to the village. Crops failed. Children sickened, and every full moon, those who listened heard a child's laughter echoing from the depths, happy, eternal, but never quite human. The elders say, never bargain with the water spirits unless you're ready to pay forever. Some miracles are curses in disguise. If you've heard a similar tale from your village or felt the pull of the river yourself, share it in the comments. Subscribe for more dark Nigerian folk tales, true life chills, and horror from the Delta. Turn on notifications. You never know when the next story will rise from the deep, like if this gave you chills. See you in the next one.